Hello everyone and welcome back to Final Fantasy XVI. This is episode 25. Last time we were making our way to Tabor and we got here, we reunited with Yote, and then we got that sweet undying lore, and now we're going to engage in some side quests today. We've got multiple to do. We've got 2 to pick up here, which we're probably going to pick up now, because just in case we need to be in multiple locations for multiple quests, it's a bit more efficient than doing the ones that we already have. So we'll just pick up everything and we'll work through it in sequence. So let's engage with these.
Opportunity beckons. Who among you is bold enough to heed her call?
Opportunity beckons.
Is that blade for hire, perchance? Because I have a mind to make a killing.
Figuratively, I hope.
Well, yes and no. A passing caravan carried with it a rumor most fortuitous for one in my trade, that an elder Dread Evis had been sighted in the fields of Corava. Dread Evis are aggressive beasts. Compelled as they are to acts of violence, few survive to maturity, but those that do develop a hide of phenomenal value.
A hide you want to sell?
Eventually, yes. Though I would have it tanned first, that it might be crafted into marvels the likes of which the world has never seen. Dread Evis skin is a rare thing indeed. But the worked hide of a well-aged beast, now that would fetch such coin that Gilbert himself might weep with envy. Bring me that beast's skin, and I will share with you the bounty of our combined labors.
All right, I'll hunt your Avis.
All right. I'll hunt your Evis.
Evis.
Of course you will. When one lives in such troubled times, it is a fool who lets opportunity slip his grasp. Leave Tabor through the east gate, but take the path that branches west. Once you reach the checkpoint at Tovany, you are a mere stone's throw from the fields of Corava. I eagerly await your safe, and above all, triumphant return.
Thank you, sir. Alright, we're heading off in a different direction, so that's okay. So have a look at the map. That'll be there. So we can't... It looks like if you go down this way, it'll probably connect to this thing and then Tovany, but we can't. It's currently inaccessible. So we could always go through from somewhere else. It'd be nice if there was an obelisk in these fields. You know, there might actually be. We haven't checked out everywhere. Maybe there's an obelisk somewhere. Who knows? That's all right. All right, let's pick up this next one.
What brings you to our humble village, young man? If it's our artisans you're here to see, then please. But do try not to interrupt their work.
Okay. We'll take on an Avis. How do we get up there? Around here.
Careful how you pack that leather. Any creases or scratches will bring down the price.
You there! The strapping lad with the sword.
The strapping young lad, Milos the antiquarian.
Finally. No one was paying me the slightest heed.
Is something wrong?
At the university, the students would hang on my every word. Sadly, this far from home, I'm just a vagrant greybeard.
The university? You're a scholar.
A specialist in ancient cultures. The most accomplished in all Valisthea, some have said. Not that I look the part in these tattered rags. In my heyday, no obstacle could have kept me from my studies. Yet here I am, a wizened windbag, bested by the many steps of Tabor. The answers I seek lying just beyond my enfeebled reach. Would you do an old man a kindness and brave the stairs in my stead? You'll be amply rewarded, of course.
I'm so old. Please help me. I'm so old and feeble. Old.
Climb the stairs and...
And memorize a few inscriptions for me. Assuming you know your letters, that is.
Yes, can you read?
Some courteous soul is rumored to have carved clues to Tabor's rich history into stones dotted about the village. 3 of them, to be precise. 1 each to the north, south, and east. I'm here in the hope that those carvings might shed light on a riddle I've been pondering for some time. Namely, the otherwise undocumented origins of Tabor's unique people. People quite unlike those of neighboring lands.
I can't promise I'll remember everything perfectly.
Remember what you can. I'll piece together the rest. Make for the domed pavilions, and you'll have no trouble finding the stones.
Carved in stone. I'm but an old man. Please help. So that is stuff around this area. So while we're here, we may as well do carved in stone. So let's head up and check that. So can you read, boy?
How are those new boots treating you?
They're fantastic. Soft as phoenix down, but tough as boiled bow.
Tough as boiled bow, mate. Ain't nothing tougher than boiled bow, innit? Ooh, we're taking the ladder instead of the stairs. Nice.
That Cyril fellow's an odd fish, don't you think?
Well, scholarly sorts like him always are, aren't they?
Cyril. Alright, can we read this? Guardians of the Crystal, the first stones of Tabor, sacred hold thy noble blood till ends the mother's labor. Guardians of the Crystal, the first stones of Tabor, sacred hold thy noble blood till ends the mother's labor. Okay, so talking about the mother crystal's labor, and the crystals were the first stones of Tabor.
No history would be complete without mention of the mother crystals.
True.
Why won't the sky go back to how it was? I don't like it.
Nor do I, dearie. In all my long years, I've never seen such a thing.
Okay, and then it said, so there's 3 of them around here. Is it all just going to be gravestones? Oh yeah, there's another one.
To Canva, and the rest of the boxes to Dalamil.
And then... Nope. So there's 1 there. Oh, and then 1 there. There you go. 1, 2. I see them. 1, 2. Buckle my shoe. Let's check it out.
You wouldn't happen to have a decent whetstone in there, would you, madam?
I'm sure I can find you something. All of these stones have a good bit of diamond dust in them. That'll see your sword sharp, all right?
Diamond dust.
Not a scratch on them. These hides will fetch a good price.
Have you noticed the Elder has been coughing less of late?
Yes. I hear Master Cyril drew up a new tonic for him.
Master Cyril, huh? Alright, here's our second one. Wanderers of the golden plains, lay your roots in stone. With pride recall thy noble past and make these rocks a home.
What golden plains might the wanderers have called home, I wonder?
Decent quarry's been hard to find since the sky's turned.
It has indeed. Can't blame the beasts for being on it.
And number 3. Children of the hunters, now tillers of the land, reap her promised blessing and give praise her gracious land.
Farmers must have settled here in Tabor. I should speak to the old scholar before I forget everything I've read. The engravings were in good repair considering their age.
Oh, what that I could have seen them for myself. Come, don't tease me now. What did you learn of this place and its people? Let's start with the engraving to the south, shall we? What did it say?
A U to the north, which means the south is... What the fuck? The great good... Oh my god, you can do joke answers. The great good Moogle Guardians. Oh, I want to pick this joke answers so bad. What happens if we get it wrong? I kind of want to do it right, but like, it's very easy because it's obviously, this is the answer. I'm curious. We're going to do it properly, but I would love that. I just don't know if like, he goes, you got it wrong, now try again. Alright, fuck it, I'm gonna pick it. Because I want to know if he voices it.
The great, good Moogle Guardians. That's definitely not right.
Take all the time you need.
Okay, good. It was alright. We can say the joke answer, that's good.
Guardians of the Crystal, the first stones of Tabor, sacred hold thy noble blood, till ends the mother's labor. I'm pretty sure that was it.
Fascinating. It would seem the founders of this city were descendants of those fallen charged with protecting the mother crystals. But whatever could have driven the Guardians so far from their sacred charges, I wonder? The engraving to the north is next, I think.
Okay. Voyagers of the Ashen Ocean, Wanderers of the Golden Plains, and Riders of the Snowy Slopes.
Riders of the Snowy Slopes. No, that can't be right, surely.
In your own time.
The Moogle one was best. Oh no, that's the wrong one.
Voyagers of the Ashen Ocean.
Meant to pick the second one.
Seafarers? Here? Are you certain?
I'm growing less certain by the moment.
We're just embarrassing Clive.
Wanderers of the Golden Plains, lay your roots in stone. With pride recall thy noble past, and make these rocks a home. Or, I think that was it, at least.
No doubt you're right. There are vestiges of nomadic customs in Tabor its guardian roots could never account for. This is proving most enlightening. Now, for the final stone.
Children of the Hunters now sworn to serve the sun. Children of the Hunters now dance.
Children of the Hunters now dancing hand in hand. That can't be right, surely.
I rather suspect it's not.
Nice. The Moogle one was best. The other ones aren't so silly.
Children of the Hunters, now tillers of the land, reap her promised blessing and give praise her gracious hand. That's all three.
And so, we add primitive farmers to Tabor's founding peoples, the final piece of the puzzle. 3 engravings, one for each of the 3 peoples to have settled Tabor in ancient times. Guardians of the Mother Crystal, wanderers from across the plains, and last but certainly not least, hunters turned farmers.
And Moogles.
Little wonder it was so difficult to trace the roots of Tabor's culture. Those roots reach down through 3 distinct traditions. Nonetheless, one cannot help but wonder why this fact is not better known among scholars, given that the stones stand here for all to see.
Too many stairs, perhaps.
Ha! Too many by far. Here, and thank you.
And thank you. I'm still old. Nice. I like how the sky is like sort of changing brightness in like a realistic way. Like sometimes the sun will come out, you'll just be like super exposed. I like that you can see that happening to the environment, because it happened to Clive in like a cutscene last time. It's pretty cool that it does that, because the clouds are moving as pixelated as they are. It's cool.
For years, I have pondered the mysteries of Tabor's founding. Would that I had made the journey as a younger man, when stairs held none of their terror.
Nice. Okay. We'll now move into previous side quests that we'd already accepted. So while we're here, we may as well do an eye for an eye. Rendezvous with Goots in Dalamil. Let's have a look, shall we? So this is I think this is the trader. This is the sort of situation where Charon is apparently selling blades to bandits, I believe.
Dalamil's saved, and with ours.
Welcome.
Ooh, we got new dialogue from him.
My comrades and I
have been keeping a watchful eye on the dark clouds in whose shadow we find ourselves, and the vultures that trail in their wake. Though we may have weathered their last assault, I fear we may not be so lucky should the bandits choose to attack again. If they do, those of us who can fight must be ready, so that those of us who cannot, the children, the elderly, stand at least some chance of weathering the storm. Victor has been a great help. He has lent his strength and knowledge to the town guard and has been aiding them in organizing our defenses.
And defend Dalamil we shall.
The only outlaw who will be setting foot in this town is my good friend Sid. They are the cornerstones upon which Dalamil will be rebuilt, and though the rebuilding has only just begun, they are already proving more than sturdy.
I always knew
that Natalie and Conrad had it in them to drag us out of the muck. They had only to stop flinging it at one another and start working together. Victor, too, is doing his part. He's been training Conrad's men in the art of the blade. They will soon be the rival of any troop in the Republic.
Meanwhile,
Natalie and her League of Merchants are collecting donations from the townspeople that we might see our stores filled. Mere moons ago, suggesting that the merchants of Dalamil might ever band together for the sake of anything other than profit would have had you laughed out of town.
Proof, if any more were needed,
that Dalamil is much changed, and entirely for the better. Do not fear for us, Clive. We'll be alright. Drake's Fang has fallen, the skies boil, and the power of magic continues to wane. The lack of ether has driven countless thousands from their homes, while those in whose lands it remains plentiful fortify their borders, determined to keep its blessing for themselves. Not that all who flee are deserving of sympathy. The bandits who attacked us may have been driven by desperation, but their brutality was inexcusable. It is a question of methods. If they had come to us begging bowls instead of blades, we would have gladly spared them what we could.
But
something tells me those brutes would rather starve than accept charity willingly offered.
You're always welcome here.
You got to appreciate how much the dialogue updates with our acquaintances. We've probably missed quite a few that have updated over the time. We need to go to like we need to go check in with Martha and Isabella to see if they have new dialogue too.
The League of Merchants have deeper pockets.
You wouldn't happen to know if the pieces that were stolen from my store were recovered, would you? They were irreplaceable.
Yes, I stole it all. Goodbye, sir. Dog.
Could be I know something more. What's it worth to you?
I've got 100 gil and a chocobo feather.
Very good trading negotiations there. He sounds very confident.
Clive, listen! I found someone who says he's heard the rumours about Nan.
Have you?
Go on. Tell him what you told me.
All right. It's like I said. A wizened old crone by the name of Charon's been selling steel to whoever will pay her price, be they knight or knave. Says the more swords and spears she puts in people's hands, the more war they'll wage. And the more war being waged, the more call for swords and spears. And who will they all turn to keep them in steel? Why, the good Reaper herself.
And you've seen this Reaper at work?
Aye, it just so happens I have. You'll find her right here plying her trade most days.
Here in Delamil? Where exactly?
She has a stall here in the market, but if you're not the patient type, you can probably find her at her storehouse on the edge of town. But it'd be a bolder man than me that braved that particular nest of vipers. Feeling bold, traveler? I hope so, for your sake. Now, if that's all, I have places to be.
Sorry to have kept you.
Someone is posing as Charon.
You don't think Nan's the Reaper, do you?
Not unless she's discovered the secret of how to be in two places at once.
Eh? What do you mean?
Lady Charon hasn't left the hideaway in weeks. So who has been running this store he spoke of?
Good question. I'll go and have a look.
And I'll visit this storehouse on the edge of town.
All right, but be careful, Clive.
Be careful, Clive.
You too, Goots.
Okay. Interesting. Another old person is like, I'm going to take Charon's name. Or maybe they just both named Charon and they're both old. And this one's just perpetuating the war machine.
The finest sell swords in store.
If only everyone here didn't have to look so... glowery.
Glowery. No, don't even know what that word means. Glowery. Well, we'll run on back. Let's check this place out. Let's investigate the storehouse.
Time to brave the Viper's Nest.
Just you, is it? Thought I might have laid it on a bit thick.
It was a fairly unconvincing tale. So, what now?
That's up to you. Die a slow death, or a quick one. Boys, he's all yours. But that sword is mine.
It did feel a bit suspicious. But I was like, we'll see where it goes, and okay. I'm pretending to be Charon.
Leave now and we can pretend this didn't happen.
God, just 1 giga flare on that whole thing. 1 giga flare on one hired muscle. I love when he's just like, just you, is it? I'm like, yep, and my dog that can, semi-prime, and Jill, Shiva's dominant, and Joshua, the Phoenix, and me, Mythos. Yeah, just me and my posse. And you are but some simple bandits, but that's fine. I love that it's just like, just you, is it? Okay, you can die. Yes. It just feels ridiculous. Obviously, they don't know who we are, but it's just so silly. Did you like that impressive display, mate?
Oh, you've done it now.
Go on. Tell me what I've done.
When the Borgwyn finds out you've killed his men, he'll have your head.
Borgwyn.
He only wanted that bull of a manservant, the dim one always clinging to Charon's skirts. You weren't even supposed to be here. Who the hell are you, anyway?
What were you going to do to him?
The Borgwyn wanted him to get to Charon. I was only supposed to point the lamp in the right direction once he arrived in Dalamil. But then you turned up. Well, go on then. If you're going to end me, end me.
You're not worth the effort. Now be gone, before I change my mind.
Fucking coward!
I need to find Goots. Right now.
So that was my chair. I have a unfortunately squeaky arm on my chair that I need to, like, lube up.
Get your filthy paws off me, you naughty-pated lout!
Stop calling me names! And stop spreading them horrible lies about Nan!
Well, that will be easy enough. For they are not lies. Every last word is true. And she must pay for her crimes in blood.
Blood?
Goot, are you all right?
He's gonna kill Nan! He said she had to pay in blood!
After what she did, it is only right. She ruined my life and the lives of countless others. That loathsome harpy's very existence is a crime, and I will not allow it to continue. Goots, was it? I have no quarrel with you. Only with your employer. Run along now. You need not pay for her sins.
No.
No?
I don't care what she did. I won't let you hurt Nan. Promise me you won't hurt her, or I'll kill you myself!
Goots, no.
Enough, all of you!
Oh, she's travelled.
Charon.
But how did you?
You're a sight less clever than you think you are, the pair of you. Did you think I wouldn't notice the two of you slinking off together? Well, the whole thing got me thinking, who in Dalamil might bear me a grudge? And a certain snivelling shit I ran afoul of in my fairy years came to mind. Though it was just Bogan back then, wasn't it? I thought the years might have taught you some sense, but I see you're the same pants-pissing craven you've always been. What was it we called you? Wet legs?
You bitch! Everything that happened, it was all your fault! And now you'll finally pay for what you did to me!
Goots, you...
If you want a piece of Nan, you'll have to go through me.
Fuck!
You great galoot. Out of the way, I can handle this myself. So, wet legs, you remember what you told me when we last met? An eye for an eye. Wise words, Sam. Wise words. And now, it's time to collect.
Oh, this is so dark. Is that how she lost her eye? Oh my god! Charon! Oh my god! That's how she lost her eye.
Sorry to keep you waiting.
Is he...
Dead? No. But I reckon he wishes he was. It ain't easy going through life one eye short of a pair. After all, I should know.
You don't mean...
Oh, don't tell me you didn't notice. Lost it to old Wet Legs back when we were working the same routes. Said I'd stolen from his strongbox. I'd done nothing of the sort, mind. But that didn't stop him taking his little revenge. So took some of my own. Sorry, lost everything. His coin, his clients. Always knew he'd be back one day to claim his due. But he crossed a line dragging poor Goots into this. He didn't hurt you, did he?
No, Nan. Still got all my arms, see? Legs too. But what if he comes back again?
What if he does? First we take the other eye, then we work our way down. He'll learn his lesson soon enough. But something tells me the Wet Legs has learned it already. Right. Let's get you back to the hideaway. You've attracted quite enough attention already. Ta-ra, Clive.
Ta-ra, Clive. I love Charon. She's so fucking cool.
I mean never to cross you, Charon.
Charon's great. Fucking... He pissed his pants while he was getting his eye popped out, that's for sure. Old Wet Legs. Jesus. Well, alright then. So, we got some Charon lore. Remember when I was like, oh, this would be a quest of finding her lost eye? It did have to do with her eye, though. Naturally. Great. God, that's ridiculous. While we're here, I'll ride into the fields of Carava for the skin trade. So we'll go and take on this Avis. And then we'll head back to speak with Charon. There you are.
Old he may be, but it looks like there's still plenty of fight in him yet. I needed that.
I've got the wrong one. That was the wrong ability. I meant to use Heatwave right at the start there and it just did not work. Yes, I will gouge you from a distance. Mopped up. We got the Avis skin. Thick scaled skin of an Avis claimed by some to be as old as the mountains themselves, though it has most likely seen but a decade or two. And a dragon talon.
This thing reeks. The sooner it's off my hands, the better.
Amazing. It reeks. Alright. Back to Tabor to drop off the leather. Damn, parrying with Heatwave, like, shreds their stagger meter, which is crazy.
Here's your hide, as requested.
I worried you might never return. Quickly, let me see it. Oh, as supple as a maiden's cheek. yet as adamant as her virtue. This is everything I had hoped for, and more. Clearly, my trust in you was not misplaced. You must be a hunter of considerable talent to have bested the beast with nary a scratch. Join me as my honored partner. With my means and your might, we shall be as wealthy as the merchant kings of Zemeckis.
I don't plan on making a habit of this. I'm busy enough as it is.
Very well. Though I believe fate had a hand in our meeting, it would be unbecoming of me to beg. Do not allow me to keep you from being about your business. Here, for the hide.
Lovely. Here's 100 bloody hides in exchange.
This is hide unlike any I've had the pleasure of handling. My clients will pay a fortune for the merest scrap.
Wonderful. I'm so glad that I got some scraps that I do not care about as my reward. Perfect. Alright, let's head back to the hideaway, so we'll speak with Charon. And then we'll check out the other locations.
Mindless though they are, an Akashic horde large enough to besiege the free cities is not to be trifled with. We must proceed with caution.
It's so cool to see Joshua in combat. I'm loving his abilities. Considering Joshua is playable in the beginning of the game, when he's a child, I would love if there was at least an option to switch between, like, Clive and Joshua, or just to be able to control him for a bit. Even though he's limited to only the Phoenix abilities, it would still be fun to, like, have that choice.
Nothing like a dish of cold vengeance to foul the gut.
I'm sorry, Nan. I didn't mean to make things worse. I just thought I had to protect you. Like you've protected me.
Aye, well, someone had to. Your parents certainly didn't give a whit for your well-being. Reckon the both of us would be worse off if I'd not taken you on. You've always been me right eye, Goots. And I'd have you stay that way. So don't you dare go looking for trouble again.
Well, I will. If you ever need help, I'll do it again and again, and you can't stop me.
Why, you big lump. Fine. Play the hero if it makes you happy.
Thanks, Nan. I won't let you down.
There's nothing he wouldn't do for you.
That's as maybe. But if he's ever to make his own way in life, he'll need to start looking out for himself as well. Till then, he'll need people to watch his back, just like you did in Dalamil. Don't think I didn't appreciate that.
Of course. His family.
Stop it. You make me one good eye, mister. I don't go thinking that'll do you any favours. A potion today'll cost you the same as it did yesterday.
Never change, Karen. Never change. Alright, my influence is up quite a bit. Continental sensor displayed in Clive's chambers. According to Charon, a sensor packed with herbs and ambergris can ward off everything from insects to the plague, protect a home from thieves and demons, and heal any number of ailments, all while bringing love and fortune. So you can read. Congratulations. Lovely.
Let me tell you a story, Clive.
All right.
Them rumours Wetlegs were spreading. Might be they weren't just tales plucked out of thin air. You see, there were a time when I weren't too particular about who I sold steel to, so long as they paid me the right price. Some women lust after blood, others after flesh, but me, I were always one for gold. And to satisfy that lust, I sold to opposing armies, stabbed my every client in the back, made myself the most hated woman in the twins. But then one day I met a man who made me a different kind of offer. Said he'd give me access to a realm-wide community of like-minded individuals in constant need of steel and sundries. On the condition I sold to him and his alone.
Was that the first time you met Sid?
Aye. And I fell right into his damn trap. He was true to his word, so I ended up being true to mine. And I soon started making the best profits I've seen since taking up the trade. And all without aiding or abetting any outlaws. Except Sid himself, that is. Told me about his plan to topple the mother crystals, you know. Said that with them gone, the realm would want for all manner of things. An opportunity for the likes of me to mint gil. Why, I reckon an enterprising individual could find himself the richest dam in the twins. And that's when he had me. I emptied my stores that day and moved into the hideaway proper. And the rest, as they say, is ancient bloody history. A dozen years on, and I'm still not the richest dam. Not for lack of trying, mind. But I can say that I have never been happier. You've all shown me there are some things more precious than gil.
That there are.
So don't you go messing it all up, or you'll have me to answer to.
Secret boss of Final Fantasy XVI, Charon.
Clive. That great lump.
Why, he's the gentlest, most dutiful soul I've ever had the pleasure to meet. He might not be the brightest crystal in the crate, but he's got a good heart. I'd far rather have an honest fool working for me than a clever scoundrel. He never shirks his duties, never answers back, never dips his fingers in the coffers.
No.
I won't hear a bad word said about him, though I might say a few myself. The lad's even got Blackthorn teaching him the secrets of smithing now, so I'm keeping my good one eye on the forge. If that blowhard of a blacksmith should even think about doing goats down, we'll be having words.
Coin purse weighing you down. Come again.
Nice.
Or don't. I'm not much bothered.
Yeah, we've got more reputation. More rewards. Let's take a look, shall we?
Did you see that?
Then we've got to get some new ingredients for food.
Welcome to the Patron's Whisper. Is everything we've received and everything promised?
Since I can remember, I've served none but myself, turned my back on the world for a handful of skills and a heavy purse. But where has that left me? It is hard to keep joy in one's heart when all those around you are without. Something must change, and that change must start with me, a lonely porter. No reward, orchestral roll, and amber. Oh, sorry, no risk, no reward.
All yours.
Haha, here's your no reward reward.
All done?
Nice. Okay. Time to head to Sambrek. Oh god, at least they're next to each other, that's nice.
Those things I said before about not being able to fight.
You didn't mean them, I know. That's not the man you are. The man I love.
The amount of like relationships and connections that form in the background in like environmental dialogue is actually pretty impressive. Like you walk through and there'll be people that shift around the environment a bit, but like you can follow particular characters' stories and evolution from really early on. It's pretty cool.
So many were injured. Only by the grace of the goddess did so few succumb to their wounds.
I'd say it was more the grace of the dame. But helps help, eh?
Helps help, eh?
We can speak inside, if you wish.
She's gonna keep trying. Philippe's timely promotion has done wonders for the garrison's morale.
A welcome turn of events.
As a happy soldier is a generous one.
But
even as our boys flourish under new leadership, others flounder for the lack of it. The floods have finally claimed the old capital along with the generals who maintained command over the northern legions.
And while Philippe is a good man,
he is no career officer, for better or for worse. It is all he can do to marshal the garrison and try to steer their thoughts away from the chaos unfolding beyond the gates.
there are so many questions.
I do not pretend to have the answers. I do, however, have the means to provide the poor boys a pleasant distraction, and for now that will have to suffice. Though there were rumours of a flood forming in the capital even before the fall of Drake's Head, the loss of Oriflamme and more to the Aether still came as a shock.
Thousands remained in the capital.
Unwilling to forsake their homes, and now we've taken in as many of the displaced as we can, reclaiming abandoned houses and workshops to give them a place to stay, yet for every dozen we take in, countless more have no choice but to seek a new life further afield.
We will not be discouraged, though.
Whatever hardships we face, our home is still above the Aether. So there were
See us again soon.
There were people that stayed inside the capital despite the flooding. With the Empire moving out, that would be like they've abandoned the place, they've gone to move elsewhere. People would go and live in their homes. I guess they would have free rent, right? The whole government body would leave. There would be like no tax collectors, no rent. You'd just be chilling in your house. And on risk of succumbing to the Aether floods. But very interesting to note, I guess, that there were people that remained there after the crystal's fall.
We're still alive, aren't we?
Yeah, but only because of the Dame. Will that be enough next time?
Will that be enough next time, mates?
Once upon a time, there was a man who went to market to buy a bushelful of Gizal greens. When on his way home, a chocobo with a belly as fat as the moon appeared from behind a tree and devoured both bushel and man in one fell gulp. The end.
That's not a very good story. No chocobo can grow that big. Can it?
The funniest part about that is I was literally about to say that wasn't a very good story. But alright.
It's heartening to see that the Guard have rediscovered their purpose. I just hope they don't do anything stupid. We've lost enough people to those things.
We had a herald from the Dominion. Said Twinside's fallen and the Emperor's dead. And the Empress. And the Prince. No one left to rule. Empire's done for.
All over, bub. Goodbye, Empire.
That's what the captain said.
Oh, okay. More monsters in the fields. You can see them from so much further away now. Look at this. We got a big boy over there too. Interesting.
Quiet.
He said I should be able to find what I'm looking for somewhere nearby. Bright blue dragons and bright yellow flowers. Should be easy enough to spot.
Well, I think this is our dragon. Blueback wyvern.
Must be our wyvern. Right. Let's get this over with.
think I need to reset my abilities and play around with some new ones. I'm getting a little bored. Not in a bad way, but it's like, I need some new abilities, and I guess we can play around with ones that we haven't used before. Like, we have some favorites, but I need to change them. We got a raptor liver. Some naturalists believe that it is the blueback wyvern's proclivity to feed on carrion that results in their livers becoming so engorged, and that the saints' bonnets which they follow their meals serve to ameliorate this effect. Others claim that it is the blooms themselves which cause the damage, the wyverns being so taken with the flower's taste that they cannot resist.
That's the wyvern's liver. Now I just need to find the herbs. Bright yellow with a heady scent.
I'm enjoying my abilities, but it just feels it feels repetitive with some of the abilities that we're using. So I might do a reset and try and use something else for a bit. We might play around with the other abilities with Bahamut that we haven't gotten to use yet. And I might use Ramu again. See how we go. I'm going to reset and then see what my new arrangement is. Alright, I'm going to go with this for now. I just want to use Ramu some more. We're going to keep Titan, because I really like the block, as well as using different abilities with Bahamut, because Bahamut's pretty fresh. I think what I want to try and get into the habit of doing, because I've been pretty comfortable with like my favorite icons for a while, but I'm getting to a point where I feel like I want to have a few ready to go that I can kind of switch between, maybe depending on what we're doing. So we've got some, like the Phoenix and Garuda with certain abilities leveled, and avoiding some others. Aerial Blast is just so busted. But we're just going to do that for a while. I think that's probably a good idea. I see flowers. I guess you can reset whenever you want, but it's just like the work of having to choose over and over again. Just wish ability points were more frequent and I can just have everything unlocked and then just kind of switch at will.
I think that's everything Molly needs to resurrect her recipe. Better head back.
I just think that maybe the fact that I don't have so many ability points and everything just like ready to use, that kind of puts me off maybe. Like switching icons all the time, and I get comfortable because it just feels like a lot to be constantly resetting all abilities and then buy and master everything all over again, that sort of thing. I think you can lock some abilities, like it has like a lock ability. I'm assuming that means if you reset everything, it leaves those alone. So at least that's kind of nice, but honestly, because the game limits you to only having like 3 icons and a total of 6 abilities anyway, it's not like the game's broken by having everything available to you. That's why I wish those reputation rewards just gave more ability points more often, so you could just kind of have more things available to just mess around and change things, instead of being like, I want to master, the ultimate ability of an icon, but it's just so expensive to then put it onto someone else. Alright, we're going to go back to the hideaway to deliver these ingredients, and then we'll head to Martha's Rest. I think my favorite icons in terms of the circle ability is definitely Titan for that block. Garuda is great for the Deadly Embrace, and I really like the fact that we can do a Mega Flare. It just takes a long time. I don't really like Blind Justice that much. That kind of puts me off even using Ramu, because that's like obviously a whole ability. Like you'd want to master Ramu's abilities to put them on someone else, I think, because I don't really like Blind Justice so much. Phoenix Shift is really useful to close gaps outside of using Lunge. So they're pretty fun. Obviously, you got to have your Limit Break mastered. And that's not even, again, not even considering the fact that we're missing 2 icons from our list here. We'll do this first, and then we'll go read the letter in my hideout.
Seems the hideaway's lost its appetite. Can you blame?
So, did you have that word with Tomes then?
I did, and he was as helpful as ever. He told me exactly where to look, in fact.
Saint's Bonnet, while this pungent herb, once known as Drake's Mint, has no curative properties, it does have the ability to mask foul odors and flavors, which is why it is found in recipes involving particularly foul-smelling flesh, such as the lights and livers of wild beasts.
And what precisely will I be cooking up? Or is it better not to know?
Blueback wyvern liver. And, a herb known as Saint's Bonnet.
Ah, wyvern livers, was it? Well, at least it weren't actual worms, I suppose.
Give me a worm dish.
You stay right where you are. I've got some cooking to do. Let's hope these grand old chefs of yore knew what they were on about.
Well, it sounds better than scorpion poison. So, that looks nice. 5 years later.
Here we have it. Fried mortress of skyworm. Ivan's offered to make sure it's fit for consumption. Well, I say offered. He as good as begged.
And rightly so. Is there any higher honour than partaking in a slice of culinary history?
Hopefully it's good. Yummy. God.
So, not fit for consumption then?
What witchery is this? The crackle of the crust gives way to an almost violent richness. Yet, it is the piquant kiss of the Saint's Bonnet that tames this savage dish. It is a tour de force, a force of nature even, a maelstrom of flavour and sensation, a graceful beast emerging from centuries of slumber.
I think he likes it.
Well, I can't quite tell with all that nonsense he's talking, but I reckon you might be right. It was decent then, I take it.
Decent? It's remarkable, and I defy any man to say a word to the contrary. Sid, might I suggest that you command a party of your finest men and women to procure a dozen blueback wyverns forthwith?
I'll give it some thought.
What a review! Like, goddamn. So good with his words. An incredible review of this dish, sire. Is someone around here eating it then?
That book may be a veritable treasure trove, but the recipes are hardly what I'd call honest fare.
Oh, who needs honesty when they can have majesty? Our companions deserve only the very best.
So, waiting for another person like this guy to be sat at a table with the dish, trying it, I suppose. Until we have a whole dining room full of rare dishes. On our own terms. I regret that both you and the lump had to get all tangled up in the wicked weave of my sordid past, but thanks to your meddling, I was finally able to put to rest matters that were left too long to fester. And with that finally done, might be I can sit back and enjoy this new world of yours you're so keen on creating. One don't need a pair of eyes to see the good you've done. Lovely. Okay, let's join Rutherford at Martha's Rest, and then we should be done on our side quests for the time being.
Martha's got a big heart. It's a pity there's so many who are happy to take advantage of it.
Have you heard the latest?
Sorry, but if you're looking for a bed, there's none to be had right now.
Very busy in here.
Already sharing our cots with masterless bearers and those who fled the floods. And more seem to wash up at our door every day.
We have a chance to get our country back.
The fates seem bent on driving me from my inn. But if they want me out, they're gonna have to try harder.
Oh my god, I'm stuck. Alright, so...
My lord Marquis, is that you?
We're dealing with Uncle Byron's, what's his face? Butler man.
It is you. Then you received my letter. I am Sebastian Rutherford, Chief Steward of your Lord Uncle's estate.
Of course. We met once before.
Yes, my lord. Thank you for coming.
And what was so sensitive that you couldn't put it in writing?
1,000 apologies, my lord. I did not mean to offend. I merely...
It's all right. Continue.
I am here at Martha's Rest, at the behest of your Lord Uncle, tasked with learning what I am able of the realm's current state of affairs. And what I have learned is grim. The fall of the Mother Crystals has left Storm in a state of utter disarray. The subsequent darkening of the heavens has only made things worse. Akashic attacks, once unthinkable, are now commonplace. The gears of governance have ground to a halt, and without a steady hand on the tiller, the realm threatens to drift into utter chaos. Your Lord Uncle, however, believes there is a way to avoid this fate, and is determined to see it set in motion.
That sounds like quite the undertaking.
It is. Hence my having enlisted the aid of several colleagues serving the 7 high houses. Alas...
Alas?
I have lost contact with 2 of those colleagues already. They are both able-bodied and trained in the sword, yet in these dark times even that may not prove sufficient to keep a man safe on the road.
So you want me to find them? I'll need to know where they went.
One I sent to investigate the Republic, the other the old Imperial capital of Oriflamme.
That doesn't exactly narrow it down. I suppose I'll start in Dalamil and work my way east.
Thank you, my lord. I shall pray for your success and safety.
We spent so much time in Dalamil. Damn it. I should have done this first. Alright, search for Rutherford's colleague in Dalamil.
My associate in Dalmekia would have had to pass through the Republic's checkpoints to gain entry to the capital. Perhaps someone in Dalamil or Tabor would have seen him.
Off we go, then.
Someone's got himself in trouble.
I don't see your master here, so you can start by giving us all the coppers in your purse.
I already told you, I have nothing.
Then maybe we'll take that pretty outfit and the steel you're wearing.
Please! These men are trying to rob me!
I'll deal with this.
Thank you.
You that one's master, then? If you'd kindly pay the coin he owes us, we can pretend you didn't draw your blade on Republican soldiers.
Or you can go back to your garrison and I won't report you to your captain.
Oh, you're more than welcome to. He hasn't had many visitors since we slit his throat.
Okay. Judgment bolt! Take that!
You're finished!
Jesus, that goes for so long.
It's over.
I gave that boy a big old spanking with 1,000,000 punches. Hitting an enemy from behind with that attack is so funny.
I'd expect as much from Hugo's faithful, but these were men of the fist.
Much has changed in the Republican army since they lost their rock.
You've seen this kind of thing before, then?
Many times. I was sent here to observe the situation.
You're one of Rutherford's men. He sent me to look for you.
Well, then you have my thanks. I fancy I could defend myself against one, perhaps two, but a whole regiment. I arrived in Dalimil several days ago, but when I called upon the captain of the local garrison to make inquiries, his men confiscated my effects and locked me in a cell.
The captain is no more, and his men make the rules now.
Fortunately, I was able to bribe my way free, only to be stopped again by those soldiers you so kindly dispatched.
What of the Fist's Central Command? Surely they wouldn't allow such lawlessness amongst their ranks.
I would imagine they are unaware of it. Most of the army has fallen back to the capital and hunkered down behind her walls. Those who weren't recalled now rule the fringes unchecked, answering to no one but themselves.
Then it's worse than we imagined. You should return to Rosaria. It's not safe here.
I'll find a caravan heading north. You won't mind if I borrow one of these soldiers' coin purses?
Off you go. Go have a loot.
Not at all. Now, to find this second associate of Rutherford's. If he was bound for Oriflamme, I'll start at Northreach and see if I can pick up his trail.
Okay. Again, where I had side quests. Good show. Good show.
There's a lot of road between here and the capital. Rutherford's man could be anywhere.
He's gonna be right here. Hello! Found you. Straight-laced gent.
What happened here?
If you're with the others, they've already relieved me of my belongings.
I'm not. I'm looking for someone who was sent here by a man named Rutherford.
And then you found him. I'm Alistair Rockford, attendant to the Lady Ariane of House Wellesley.
Of the 7 high houses of Rosaria. It's been a long time since last I saw my great-aunt. Is she well?
My Lord Marquis? Yes. Yes, she is. The Lady Dowager has granted me leave to assist your Uncle Stuart. I was on my way back from the old capital when I saw some villagers being robbed on the road here.
Bandits?
They looked more like field hands, but it didn't matter in the end. I did what I could to help the victims, but all it earned me was a pommel to the temple.
Which way did they go?
South, toward the gate.
All right. I'll take care of them. Founder knows I've met enough of their kind. You head back to Northreach, visit the Vale, tell them I sent you.
Thank you. I shall. Founder be your shield.
Visit the Vale, my dude. They will heal you in multiple ways.
It was only a short while ago that I was assaulted. If you hurry south, you may find those who did this.
Isabella will take care of you.
They just couldn't resist, could they?
This one's ours, pretty boy.
Oh, I locked onto the wrong guy. That's such a shame. That ruins everything.
Nice try.
Whenever you just get like isolated voices, it's so hilarious. Like just stuff that blends into the heat of battle, but then as soon as like there's no music and you just hear someone going, ooh, ah!
Make for the town while you can. There may be more bandits nearby.
You don't need to tell me twice. Many thanks, traveller.
This looks to be all of them.
I thought I told you to make for the Vale.
And stand by as ill might befall the heir to the ducal throne.
It's just Clive, and I'm fine.
It's just Clive.
There's more than can be said for you.
I will survive.
Strange that the garrison wouldn't intervene in such a brazen attack so close to their gates.
The garrison have their hands full inside the city. Some days they don't even send out patrols. There are few hands left to work the fields, and even fewer to transport the grain. The market stalls are nearly bare, and the price for what remains is exorbitant. It's not uncommon to see a fight break out over a crust of bread. When I said the ones who attacked me didn't have the look of bandits, I meant it. They were probably just desperate.
Rockford, listen to me. If you are to continue your investigation, you first need to seek the attention of a healer.
Of course.
As you're told, sir.
I shall return to Northreach right away. But allow me to thank you first. Had you not happened along,
Don't thank me. Thank Rutherford. It was he who sent me.
I suppose he'll be wondering where I've got to. I shall send a Bastolus as soon as I'm able. Good day.
God bless you.
My uncle certainly has his work cut out for him. If it isn't already too late. I should go and tell Rutherford that his colleagues are still in one piece.
Okay. Time to return to Rutherford.
I see you're still here.
The Rest's location affords a constant flow of traders, and with it, a constant flow of information. Speaking of which, I received word from both my associates. They have resumed their investigations, thanks to you.
I only happened to be in the right place at the right time. They both seem to think the realm's prospects rather grim.
I am afraid that grim would be putting it lightly. Storm is in crisis, and if we are to free her, we must work quickly. And we must work together. Such is your Lord Uncle's wish.
As it is mine.
Quest completed. Smooth like butter. So that's our side quest completed. A whole bunch of them. We've got Flare Breath, which is nice. Cooldown by 2.7 seconds. Which actually does remind me, I forgot to change my gear. So we've got the Raging Fists, which is fine, but I've got Breath of Fire, which I need to change. I'll probably do Judgment Bolt. Reduce that by 9 seconds. Lovely.
I will see that your Lord Uncle is made aware of the situation in both Dalmekia and Sanbrek. And inform him of your timely assistance, of course.
Thank you, Rutherford. Good day to you, sir. And with that one, we'll bring this episode of Final Fantasy XVI to a close. This was the side quest episode before we jump into Cloak and Dagger and make for the Free Cities of Canva. The side quests were alright. They weren't, like, super engaging. I think I liked Charon's one the best because we have a lot of sort of attachment to those characters, so it's cool to get some backstory there. But go and fetch me some Avis leather. Yeah, you know, there's just stuff that's kind of like padding for time, getting to know residents of Tabor, stuff like that, but it's not exhilarating, but that's okay. Not every single side quest can be incredible, but there was definitely some good stuff there. But next time, we'll be proceeding with the main quest and we'll see what the game has in store for us. So thank you so much for joining me today, and I'll see you next time.